Hi everyone, this is going to be a video about Saturn through the sign. So Saturn will be in Sagittarius until 2017, so from now till 2017. If you watched my previous video, I went quite in depth about the influence of Saturn on a global and personal level, but this video is going to be very specifically about how it's going to affect your sign. I'm looking at solar astrology here, so if you want more information about how it's going to affect you on a deeper level, you need to look at your natal chart and see where Saturn is actually transiting through your natal chart. So this is, as I said, this is solar astrology. For this, you can look at your sun, moon or rising sign, and I'm just going to go through the different ways that Saturn is affecting each sign. So let's start with at the beginning. So we have Aries. So for Aries, it's transiting, Saturn's transiting your 9th house. So what to expect with Saturn transiting your 9th solar house? You can expect issues coming up around long distance connections with people. So people that, overseas, or people, foreigners, or people that, have come from a very different background to yourself. Also you may be really wanting to look at learning something new, or going into further studies around something that you're really passionate about. So there's that. Some people may, some areas may find travel is calling to them, but there can be tests around that for them. So also spirituality, religion, and connecting to something higher for yourself on a spiritual, philosophical level for Aries. Saturn, as I've mentioned previously, brings tests. So this is where you may find some tests, but also some strengths and also some opportunities as well. For Taurus, it's the 8th house. The 8th house relates to shared resources, loans, debts, taxes, and your deeper emotions, as well as intimacy and sexuality. So Saturnian issues will be coming up for Taurians around these 8th house issues. So the 8th house relates to Pluto and Scorpio, and it's, when Saturn goes through the 8th house, it can be that there's lessons, in relation to saving money and managing your money, being really aware of what's happening with your money, and especially in relation to debts, taxes, and shared resources, so resources that you share in a partnership or a marriage situation. It can also relate to inheritances as well. So let's moving on to Gemini. So Gemini, you guys are going to be receiving an opposition from Saturn, so that's, bringing you tests from other people. So the 7th house relates to marriage partners, relates to business associates, clients, customers. So if you're in a job, you may have issues with customers or bosses as well as colleagues. So it represents all these people. For Gemini, some Geminis, and again, you've got to look at your actual natal chart to see what corresponding transits you actually have, and look at it, more in depth. But on a sort of surfacey level, you could be tested within your marriage. You could be tested within your close personal relationships with people in authority as well. So, like, as I said before, bosses, even parents, mostly marriage partners and relationships, however. Sometimes even friends, people that are very close to you. So what you may find is people testing you on the level of how you communicate with them, because it's the air house, it's the Libra house, the 7th house. So how you communicate in relationships, that's all going to be coming up for assessment in a way with Saturn there. And some Geminis may actually get married, because Saturn represents commitment and responsibility and creating a foundation. So some Geminis may get married, other Geminis may be separating, or divorce could be. Check your natal chart for more information. But there's definitely going to be stresses in one-to-one personal relationships and a lot of growth. For Cancer, it's the 6th house. So the 6th house relates to Virgo, Mercury energy. So that's going to be around work and your routine and your health. So Cancers, you need to watch, all these areas of your life, and you may have to take on more work, more responsibility. You may be promoted. You may be given more duties. you know, more responsibility, higher duties, even higher pay for more work. So be aware of that. With health, you may, Cancers may have to be, take on a new routine with health. So you may change your diet, or you may look at, you know, how your health is being affected long term, and you may want to make sure that you're really looking after that. So Saturn gets you to be more responsible there. For Leo, it's your 5th house of creativity. So anything to do with, well, creativity, romance, children. So these are the areas where you may find tests, as well as new responsibilities, new growth, and some opportunities as well. So, you know, as an example, you may be tested in dealing with your children. Your children may be, you know, starting something new, like going to school, or taking on something that, you know, requires them to sort of step onto a new path. In other areas for Leo, it could be romance related. You might meet somebody and it's more of a serious connection, or a karmic connection with that person that you feel a strong bond with, but there can be some lessons through that connection. Creativity for Leos, it's time for Leos to get a bit more serious about your creativity. So rather than just having, you know, ideas, but really like following through on those ideas and making something real out of those ideas. So there could be some good opportunities for Leo there. For Virgos, it's a square aspect from Saturn, so it's a harsh aspect. It's testing you on the level of your home, your family, your roots, the mother, your deep emotions, your deep inner self. So, you know, some Virgos may find that they're called to help their mum in some way, or a maternal figure. They may, you know, that person that, you know, your mother may need more help from you while Saturn is going through that section of your chart, Virgo. So as I said, it's a square aspect for Virgo, so it's a bit more testing. It's an adjustment energy, really, so you need to work with that energy and try to manage. You may have to manage your life and helping somebody else in the family. There could be issues in the family as well that need to be addressed and worked through. You know, more responsibility at home, working harder at home. You may have a home business and you may have to work, you may have more clients, you may have more demand on your time from family and your home business, just an example. So for Libra, it's going through your 3rd house of communication. So anything to do with writing emails, any kind of communication, speaking, you know, this is the area where you're going to have to work a bit harder and focus more and get more serious about what the information is that you're putting out there. You know, Saturn brings that element of seriousness, so that's where Libras are going to be more aware of how they speak, what they're saying. You know, are you speaking with integrity, or are you not? You know, these are the questions that you might be asking yourself. You're going to be more aware of what it is that you put out there verbally and in the written form. Check important emails before sending, stuff like that. So there's learning there for Libras. Scorpio, it's a 2nd house, so your value, your finances, your you know, your self-worth, your physical body. So these are the areas where Saturn will be drawing your attention, Scorpio. So yeah, and what else? And lastly, Sagittarius, it's the 1st house. Oh, not lastly, sorry, I've still got some more to do. Sagittarius is the 1st house, so it's yourself, it's your life path, and I'll refer you back to my video that I did a couple of weeks ago about Saturn in Sagittarius. If you're a Sagittarius, check out that video. It goes very in depth about how Saturn in your sign will affect you. So it's all about your life path, you know, your self-expression, finding a new path in life, and being tested on the level of your personal path and where you're going in life. Capricorn's the 12th house, so, you know, it's a bit nebulous with the 12th house. It's the subconscious mind. It's a releasing, it's a letting go of things that are no longer allowing you to grow, Capricorn. So it's really the end of a long cycle for Capricorns, and it's a releasing of a lot of things that have been karmically that you've had to work on, and then you sort of like you know, going through a lot of processes internally and coming out the other side feeling quite cleared at the end of it. So that's, you know, it's a bit difficult, but it's also very healing and releasing as well. Aquarius, the 11th house of groups and friendships and wishes. So for Aquarius, you know, you may be tested in group situations. You may have to work hard with groups, with friends. There may be issues with friends. karmic issues there to face with friends, and you may feel a bit more lonely while you have Saturn going through your 11th house of friends. Some Aquarians may feel like being more on your own. You may feel like you only have one really good friend, one or two, and it's just, you know, it's karmic with Saturn there, and you're just processing what it is that you need from friendships, and really thinking about friendships, as well as thinking also on a deep level about your dreams and what you want to achieve in this lifetime. And there's a lot of mental sort of processing on that level. For Pisces, you guys are going to be tested as well, because it's also a square aspect, just like Virgos will be receiving. This is your 10th house of career, marriage, public reputation, your public standing, how people see you in the world. So there could be tests with authority figures in your life in regards also to, as I said, career, the father. There can be issues with the father coming up, because it's the Capricorn house, which is the Saturn house. So be aware of how you relate to your father figure, or somebody that has that sort of authority around you. Also issues with bosses can come up, and so you're really looking at your public standing. And, you know, for some people, marriage is going to be a source of stress, and being tested in that way. And if if that person that you're with in that marriage is, you know, really meant to be with you, and you're meant to be with them, then you will work through these issues while Saturn goes through your marriage house. You know, some people will change jobs, or they'll separate or divorce from a partner, or some people again will get married. So, you know, as I've said before, Saturn is about thresholds. It's about a door opening and a door closing. So you'll find that sort of energy around which house, and as I've mentioned, for each sign, doors will open, and well, a door will open, a door will close in regards to those areas. So with Saturn, I'll just say lastly, because I just really wanted this to be a quick video, I'll just say that an analogy that came to me this morning is Saturn, when you have tests from Saturn, it's like doing intensive exercise or going to the gym. When you go to the gym, you lift weights, you do, you know, intense exercise, and you know, it's painful sometimes, and it's physically, you know, it's exhausting, and it's painful, and but when you've finished your workout, I mean, I know for myself, when I go to the gym, I come out and I feel great. During the workout, not so great, you know, but it is ultimately to make you stronger, to make you physically more adept, and to give you more skills and more physical sort of prowess. So that's what Saturn does. Saturn tests out your strength. It makes you find strength when you didn't think that, you know, you weren't sure that you had strengths. I mean, it will really test you in that way. And I mean, you know, for me, I'm 38 years old. Over the course of my life, I've had quite a number of Saturn transits, and I can say that, you know, the experience of Saturn, it's not light and breezy. I mean, any, you know, astrologers out there saying that, people talking about Saturn saying that it's all heavy and whatnot. I mean, seriously, it is. You know, it's testing, and you can't learn and grow if you don't have tests in life. If everything was all light and breezy, you wouldn't learn anything, you wouldn't grow. Many times deep growth is experienced through difficult tests in life, and those lessons, because they are so difficult, resonate on such a deep level of our being that they can't easily be forgotten, and there's sort of an alchemy that happens, and we learn and we integrate these things. So you know, it's not to be all like, oh, scary Saturn. It's a teacher. It's a teacher to us, and it's helping us to grow, to be stronger, to integrate lessons, deep spiritual lessons in our lives, and to help us move through certain periods into other periods of our life. So it is exciting, you know, for that as well. So while you're going through it, yes, it is difficult and it is testing, but when you come out the other side, it's really quite amazing how you feel. So anyway, I hope that was a helpful video, guys. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. Thank you so much for watching.